I'm Ashira. Welcome back to the Kosher Convert. Today we're continuing our series on Pesach with eggplant parmesan. I know, traditionally it's breaded, but the best eggplant parmesan I ever had was at a little Italian restaurant in Chicago. Their version wasn't breaded at all, and it was amazing. My recipe is based on that dish, which makes it easy to make and perfect for Pesach. Basically, the ingredients for eggplant parmesan are cheese, eggplant, and marinara sauce. Now for cheese, I'm using mozzarella, fontina, and parmesan. If you only have access to mozzarella, that's fine. You can just rely on that. But if you can get fontina, it's nice. And for the parmesan, you really want to find a nice solid block of parmesan. If you see those jars in the store where you just sprinkle the parmesan out, don't even bother. It basically tastes like sawdust and it's not even worth it. In terms of the marinara sauce, it's just easiest to buy a jar, but make sure that you look for one that does not have cottonseed oil. The other thing we'll need is olive oil and salt to saute the eggplant. The secret to this recipe is getting nice, thin slices of eggplant. So the first thing I'm gonna do is cut off the ends. Now, before we slice, I actually always take a vegetable peeler and peel 4 strips on each eggplant, and that's because we're going to leave the skin intact, but that skin gets really tough when you're trying to eat it, and so when we have little breaks in that, it's going to make it much easier to eat, and it just makes the whole dish kind of better. Okay, now the most important thing is to get nice thin slices because we want that eggplant to be really thin in the dish. So I'm going to be looking for about 1/4 inch. So then we just saute these in a little bit of olive oil and salt on the stove. To saute the eggplant, just heat up some olive oil, put the eggplant in, and then sprinkle some salt over it. Once they've cooked a little bit, flip. And then we're going to use the spatula to press down a little bit, and that pressure is going to bring out some of the liquid. And you can actually see when it starts to happen. See how I'm pressing here? And because of the heat, and maybe even a little bit because of the salt, the eggplant is releasing a lot of its own juices. And you're going to get a nicer result. It's going to be nice and thin and delicate. And just keep flipping and pressing. Like even once it's gotten to that point, you can flip some more and get some nice color. And just keep flipping and pressing until you get to a nice, delicate, thin texture. Okay, I think this looks like it's pretty much where I want it to be. It's nice and thin and soft. And so I'm going to say that this batch is done. And just continue to saute all of the eggplant until it's all at this level. So once it's sauteed, the eggplant should basically look like this. It's nice and thin, and it's very delicate, and that's kind of what we're going for here. To make the dish, we're gonna layer it. The first step is to put down a layer of sauce. I'm starting with 1/2 cup on the bottom of the pan. Next, we put down a layer of eggplant. Basically, it's gonna be about 1/2 of the eggplant that we sauteed. Okay, so now that you have a nice layer of eggplant, we're going to put down a layer of the fontina cheese. And again, you can put more if you like, but too much really does overwhelm the dish. So I think 1 nice thin layer is totally enough. Then we're going to do 1/4 cup of sauce. Okay, and then we're going to take the remainder of the eggplant and put that on top. Again, you can let these overlap a little bit if you want to. Totally up to you. Okay, then we're going to put down a layer of mozzarella. Okay, and then to end, we're just going to put on another between 1/4 cup and 3/8 cup of sauce. Okay, and then we're going to top that with some freshly grated Parmesan. So just cover that with foil and put it in a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now, if you like the top to be a little more crusty, take the foil off for the last 10 minutes or so. So this is what you end up with. I did take the foil off about 10 minutes before I took it out of the oven, so you can see that it got a nice crust. I really believe the key to this dish is to saute that eggplant really, really well before you put it in the oven. You want to get to a really thin, nice, delicate texture. I think this is a great option for that time during Chol Hamoed when you just can't eat any more matzah and you want something delicious. As always, recipes and other information will be on our website, thekosherconvert.com, and you can find us on our Facebook page. B'teavon.